Hello everybody, my name is Nicola and welcome to the Frugal Cottage, where I talk about budgeting, money saving, investing and all things to do with money to help you to change your financial journey. So today is a budget and cash envelope update. It's the end of yet another week in lockdown here in the UK, so I thought I would show you how our budget's gone this week and give you an update on my cash envelopes. So as always, the starting page of my budget planner is my bill calendar overview. If you've not watched my latest video on my May budget setup, I'll leave a link below to that and you can see how I set all this up. This just looks the same. In fact, I have ordered another couple of stickers for this because I needed one. Well, I say needed. Do I really need? I wanted one for my phone bill and also the internet, so I've got a couple more ones coming in the post hopefully soon that will also be on this to show when they go out as well. But that's it for now. We're nearly at the end of the month, so all of our bills have been paid and we're just waiting for the end and when it all starts again. So monthly budget, I'm mainly going to be talking about our variable expenses and how they're going and what impact the lockdown has had on our spending. I think that what we're finding, and a lot of people are finding, is that some areas of the budget have gone really far down and some have gone up. And I'll talk more about that in a second. I also have been thinking more and more about how I want to build my income streams so that I'm not reliant on just kind of one or two, but that's in another video quite soon. So turnover. So this is a debt repayment plan, but I don't use that. Sinking funds, again, another week has passed and I really haven't given any thought to these. I'm not putting anything in them for now. I either said in my May budget video or the one last weekend that I've kind of paused all of these for the time being. It feels weird to save for something that I don't know how the time will be when it gets there, if that makes sense. So I mentioned that I've got one of my sinking funds is a summer holiday sinking fund because I've got 2 children and last summer holidays ended up being quite expensive and I wasn't prepared for that. So one of them for this year was going to be that, but at the moment it seems weird to save for that because I don't know if we're just going to still be at home all the time. So sinking funds haven't changed, I haven't added anything in there. It's unusual for this to not have anything on or for me not to have put anything in them for now. I haven't even put anything in like the Christmas envelope. I think that's also a knock-on effect of not using cash because I'm not at the moment. But I'll move on from that. So no spend days, I've added on a couple of my little stickers. These little koala, but they're all from the same sticker shop, I love it. These little koala bears, and they say he's holding a little sign that says no spend, and I just found the sheet of them the other day, so I was like, oh, I'll use a couple of those. This isn't obvious by now, I like a sticker. But this is my no spend day tracker. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 I'm up to now. Today won't be one either, so I've got, is it 4 days left to get 3 more? You'd assume I could do that seeing as we're not going anywhere, but we'll see. But I'm quite happy with how it looks. I don't know how well those silver stickers are showing up. But there you go, that's how it looks so far. Feels weird that we're nearly at the end of April. I haven't seen anybody else apart from my husband and my 2 children for over a month. And that's just weird. Anyway, so the expense tracker. As you can see, really bare. I've got one thing to confess though, so if you've watched my videos for a while, you know that we are attempting a no spend year or no buy year, however you want to say that, in 2020, and one of my rules for that, along with other things, was no takeaways. However, yesterday, you can see, and I've put it under our food budget because I haven't got a budget for anything else to do with takeaways. For the 4 of us, got a takeaway from a Greek restaurant in town and it was so good, so good. So it was more expensive than normal for a takeaway. I think £29 seems quite expensive. However, it was a proper treat. It was really yummy. I couldn't even finish mine. I had what did I have? Like a lamb wrap with tzatziki and salad, and it was really yummy. But in the rules around no spending, I shouldn't have got it. But it was a real treat. We all really enjoyed it. The boys ate. We got some halloumi fries and they loved those. And it was just something nice in a bit of a not nice situation, if that makes sense. So although it feels weird to say that I've gone against my no spend year rules, and that's the second time I've kind of done that. It was really good. And the other thing is, we went to Sainsbury's. I didn't go. My husband got some food from Sainsbury's in the middle of the week, and the food shop will be later today, so that'll be on next week's, or it'll be on the end of April's thing. So I'm not too worried. Obviously, a takeaway isn't the greatest thing in terms of expenses, but I think it was just something nice. Although it was weird, again, because I've not left the house, it's something that I've not been kind of thinking about or used to. But the man who dropped it off had like a massive mask on, not a cloth one, like it was a massive, I don't even know what it's made from, but it looked really odd. And because I've not really been out anywhere, I've not really seen anyone wear masks like that. And obviously he kind of left it at the front door and then went back and waited for us to then get it from the doorstep. But it was just, yeah, that's the first time I've kind of seen someone wear that. And I imagine that if that's going to be the norm, that will take some getting used to, I think. You can't see somebody smile if they're wearing a mask. Anyway, so that's our expense tracker. I don't see us getting to the end of this first page, which again is unusual. It's a good thing, I suppose, in terms of spending. You can see that we put in £30 worth of petrol at the start of the month, and we've not needed to put in any more yet. I don't think it needs doing today either, and that just shows how little we're using our car, or how much in comparison I use it normally. And it would be good to kind of think about how much we use a car. Now, I normally use it to get to work, and that's unavoidable. I do like a 50-mile round trip to get to work and back in a day. Obviously there's no way around that. It's not like I could cycle there. I couldn't. That would take me longer to get to work on a bike, I think, than I would be at work. But things like on other days, could I walk the boys to school? Probably on the days that I'm not at work. It would just take a bit more organisation, but maybe that's something to think about going forward. And then miscellaneous and food are the only other two categories that we have used. Now there's only one more in there that we've not used, and that's the children's budget, and I'll talk about that in a second. But I don't think we'll go over to the second or third page, and I give myself, or the planner has, 3 pages for expense trackers, and some months, last year I was well into the 3rd page of the expense tracker by the end of the month. So again, a silver lining, I suppose you could call this, is the fact that, you know, because we're not going anywhere, because we're not seeing anybody, because we're not popping to the shops or whatever, you know, and I'm trying to stay away from online shopping. I'll just add that in there, because I'm finding it more and more tempting to go online and buy things, and I think that's a knock-on effect of not being able to do that in real life. But the silver lining so far is that this is going down in most areas. So I'll turn over these. They're all the expense trackers. So the weekly check-in. So, as you can see, we're in week 4. So food, that includes the takeaway, so £46.95. Gives us £35.97 remaining, but we're going to go food shopping this afternoon. I keep saying we're going as if like we're all going. We're not. I'm going to write a shopping list, and then my husband's going to go food shopping. We will go over the £35, and that's just because I'm going to include it all in this week. Obviously it will last till next weekend, which is into May, but it's just easier for my budget. Obviously you could do yours differently, it is totally up to you, but for me I'm going to keep that the same. So yes, I don't think we'll manage to keep it under £35.97. If that would be, I don't remember the last time that we got a whole week's worth of food shopping for under £35. That's been quite a while, and we've kind of run down our freezer a bit as well, so I do know there's not much left in the freezer as kind of reserve, so to speak. And then you can see there the other 3 categories, miscellaneous, petrol and children, have not been touched this week. So miscellaneous budget, £62.10. I do know we need we need cat food today, both wet and dry cat food we need to buy today. And there's something else for the house that we need, I can't remember. So we will use some of that today in the shopping today, but we won't go over that unless my husband decides to buy something really random, which is unlike him, but you never know. Petrol, so again we've not put any in the car this week. I don't think it needs any. So we've got £70 remaining for petrol. I genuinely don't think it needs any. But even if we did, even if it was empty, it doesn't cost £70 to fill our car up. So we will have that budget left over of some description. And then the children's budget is still at zero. No, it's not. We've still spent zero, so it's still at £100. I can't remember the last time that happened. In fact, it hasn't, I don't think, because normally we'd have like gymnastics fees to pay if nothing else. We'd have gone to soft play at some point. Might have gone to the park and got an ice cream. Like, I can't remember the last time we didn't spend anything on them in a whole month. And that's because things like, obviously their food comes under the food budget, kind of nappies and things come under the miscellaneous budget. So when it's the children's budget, it is, it's just weird not spending anything on them. It makes me feel a bit like maybe I should have spent something on them, but then like why would I do that just so I spent money on them? Does that make sense? It's not like they're not getting stuff to do. It's weird. It's a weird scenario. Yeah. So that's what our budget is looking like at the kind of almost at the end. What's the date today? The 26th of April. That's what our remaining categories are for now. It's looking okay. And turning over, so that's the bill tracker. Extra income, I talked about this I think last week. I haven't done anything about extra income. My idea at the start of the year was to use extra income to fill the sinking funds as a bit of a challenge, if you like, but that hasn't happened. I still don't particularly feel comfortable about selling things on eBay or Facebook, especially Facebook when people have to come and collect stuff. That just feels, well, I don't even know if I'll be allowed to do that at the moment. But eBay, obviously you could post stuff, but then that's, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable about doing it at the moment. So that is empty, unfortunately. And then the savings aim, actually this should be filled in because I've done my savings for the month of April. If you follow my Instagram, you'll know I do like a payday update on there. I have transferred over £700 to my investment account for this month, so that should all be coloured in because I've done that. I kind of ummed and ahed about whether to put it all in investments or put some in our emergency fund, but actually, and this will come up in my April review video, which is next week, I've also put money in our emergency fund as well as putting that £700 in investments because we've not, there's parts of our budget that we're not touching, so that can go elsewhere, if that makes sense. And I've talked more about my emergency fund in that review video, so make sure you check that out when it goes live on Thursday I think it is. So that's what my budget looks like for now. I've not filled in the reflection yet because obviously we're not quite at the end of the month, although it's weird, I'm ready for a new month to start and I'm not sure why because it's not like it's going to be any different at all. But that's how this looks at the moment. Yeah, it's just odd, isn't it? And the longer this goes on for, and to be quite honest, I'm beginning to think that this is going to go on for quite a significant time yet. And I was saying to my husband last night, like, even when it kind of gets lifted and you are allowed to go to certain places, I don't know if I'm going to want to. I can't imagine just going to a supermarket and doing the food shop and coming home and just, I don't know, it just seems really weird. I think the transition to kind of going out and doing things will be really difficult, and I don't think people will do things in the, well, I say that, I don't think people will do things in the same way when this all goes away. Do you think? I don't know, it's just weird. And finally, just as another kind of aside, my cash envelopes, I have looked into the cashless cash envelope system, which is a right mouthful to say, and looking at using that for May. So that I've got a video coming up on how to actually do that, because that's my plan. I'm missing them so much. I'm missing that aspect of the budget. I'm missing filming my cash envelope stuffing videos for you guys. They're one of my favourite ones to film. So I'm looking into that for May, and I will let you know A, how that works, and B, how I'm finding it at the start of the month. But in terms of actual cash, again, I don't know. How do I know when the right time is to bring that back? Just don't know. So many questions. But I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're staying safe at home. Let me know how you're getting on. How's your budget doing? Are you spending more in different areas? Because, you know, we are. And let me know if there's anything you want me to film during May. I'm quite happy to kind of do things that people want to see. But that's it for me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.